Modifying your car right before an MOT, is it a good thing or is it a bad thing? I'm about to find out. While I wait on some parts to come for the MOT, we're going to add some modifications, so come with me and see what I get done. I'm also adding a key via FORScan because I only have one key for this and I need two. We're back with a new video on the Fiesta. It still needs stuff done for an MOT, but we are waiting for some parts. So what better things to do than do some upgrades? We're going to do the intercooler and we're going to do the dog mount, lower engine mount, whatever you want to call it. So let's get straight into it. So before we'd spoken about how the handbrake was not working, and it actually turns out to be that it's actually the sliders just here on the brakes that have actually got seized or partially seized, hence why we're getting this as well. So I've got some new calipers coming, well, second hand, but going to be new for this car. So I've got to wait for them to get here so we can sort out that handbrake on both sides. So while that's coming, we need to get on with the things under the car. Let's change this intercooler. If you've been around for a minute, you will know that this is a common thing that I end up doing, taking the lights out and then taking the bumper off or the wing. So it's the same process. We have the two bolts on the headlights, pop that out, remember to undo the wire, and then we go on to the next step. Don't forget your little trays, guys, because these will save you from losing all your bolts. Now, I do have a magnetic one. Doesn't always work considering there's a lot of plastic on the front of the Fiestas, but it's worth having. Then we move on to, I think these are all torque 30 or torque 20 pieces. You've got the three bolts up here, and then you've got 4 of the plastic screw heads that are an absolute pain. That includes 2 that are into the headlights. Now we're on to the 3 bolts that hold the bumper on. If you haven't seen this on the silver Fiesta, they can be a pain. It's better to get 2 from underneath the wheel arch and then 1 over the top. You will need a long extender bar on this. You can use the flexi socket. I don't know what they're called. I don't, just because I don't get on with them. So I just got my hand in under there. Also, don't forget the arch lining torques as well. Now you only need to undo the 3 that are to the side of the bumper. You don't need to undo all of them. Obviously you have to do both sides. I have not shown the other side because it's exactly the same as this side. So let's get this bumper off. And there are some little plastic clips underneath. Now I undone more than what I actually should because I didn't realise my splitter was catching on the bottom trim of where the intercooler sits. And there we have it. It is off, and we can now see what we're dealing with behind the bumper. Could do with a bit of a clean. So we are changing this one, which looks like it's actually seen better days in itself, to that one there. So let's get this off and get that one on. Straight into it then. So right now all I'm doing is taking off all the plastic trims around the edge so I can slot it out. Now I will say, pre-warning, my 3 bolts underneath did not come out, and I had to make some adjustments to get it out and change it over. You will see how I combated that in the end, and we did have to get that bottom bit off, which was not easy at all, and then you'll see what I did. After undoing the hoses, I then went to those 3 bolts, and as you'll see here, you'll see where they are. What I didn't realise here is actually there's 2 bolts that hold it to the back of the plastic. Now, because I couldn't undo these 3 bolts under here, I couldn't see them. And yeah, I was just pushing down on it. I do realise in the end that you can't actually get it out this way. And then I have to make those adjustments. I literally tried everything before having to try and get this bottom bit off, including this tiny little spanner that actually wasn't doing anything at all. The level of contemplating my life right now on my choices of doing this job, but I'm never going to let that stop me, and I'm always going to figure out a way, even if that's with a bit of brutal force, and I'll deal with the consequences after. And finally, it is out. But that's not it. We've got to get the other one back in. And there ain't the perfect fit. Now it's to do the same in reverse, with a little bit of tweaking and modification along the way. I had to get this bottom plastic bit out so I could then do up the screws to hold this in, because this is heavier than the standard one, and also it doesn't fit 100%, so you have to tweak some of the plastic to get it in, and you can't do that if the bottom one is still on the car. So we managed to get that off. Also, it helps if you have 2 people to help hold this up. Doing it on your own doesn't really help, which is why I called in my sister-in-law very soon to help. Putting this whole car back together, and then I will show you the end result. And there we have it, it is all back together. You can see the air tech under there. So let's go take this for a drive and see how it is. But first, let's get this lower engine mount, dog bone mount, whatever you'd like to call it, changed over. Now I'm going for an yellow rather than a red, because red's more for track, whereas yellow is for street, and I don't want it too aggressive with the vibrations. We have the mount to come off first, which is 2 bolts here, I believe are either a 13 or a 15. Can't remember, I want to say 13. So you've got these 2 here, then you've got 2 bolts above to undo, and that will take that bracket off, and then obviously the 2 bolts holding the mount in itself. I will say it's not the easiest gap to get into. I mean, this would be so much better if you were in a ramp, but on your driveway, it's a little bit more tricky. This is on axle stands, so it is raised up. Getting this mount at the right angle to get out is a little bit tricky. It's literally just wiggle it around a lot. Now for these 2 bolts, you will need a long 13mm socket.
stuck in my head. What's the satisfaction? I can't get no reaction. She's just stuck in my head.
The engine will move here, but it's not going to drop on you, do not worry. It's still held on by the top mounts. So I did put the bolt back in just to take the pressure off the top two bolts. Don't know if it actually made that much of a difference, but I got them out this way anyway. So this is the old one out, and that is the new one that's got to go back into that same gap. So you can see it's going to be a bit of a squeeze, but first of all we need to get this plate off. I heard that this was going to work, but save your time, it doesn't work. If you've got a vise, put it in a vise, so much quicker. Okay, so I had to put it in the vise and put it off. I actually managed to get the crowbar in between and put it. So now back onto the car. Okay, so we now have that on there, and now to put it all back together. So let's go. Now this is a really tight squeeze. Now I didn't put the washers in, but they're meant to have washers. I just could not get them in at all, and I was running out of time. I added copper grease to the bolts as well. Apologies here for the camera, I don't know why it became out of focus so badly, but yeah, it happens. Literally all you're doing is the same in reverse, so you put in the two bolts through, then the bracket back up, and then you connect the bracket back to the cat on the exhaust. That is the mount back in and now all secure and ready to hit the road. Okay guys, so we're actually having some issues with this car, and the what I believe is the key, could be the battery, but it could be a bad earth. So pretty much it doesn't always start, and sometimes it will... Brain is temporarily loading right now. We'll take a minute. Not lock, or it won't unlock. So right now we're going to get the FORScan out, have a quick look if anything comes up, and then we're also just going to add another key because I don't have 2 keys for this car. So let's run a quick FORScan. Okay, so the codes that we've got coming up here, I already know about. One's a tyre sensor, and the other 2 are actually the indicators on the mirrors. There's an open circuit, which also I need to find out what's causing that. But at the minute, there's nothing serious on there. So first things first, we're going to add a key by going here, and then where it says remote entry here. And then we're just going to press run. It'll give you a warning. Make sure you actually read this and know exactly what you're doing. Turn off the engine. Okay. Then we want to program a key. So first we need to gain access. Once we've gained access, it does take about 10 minutes. So I'm going to speed that up now. Okay, so we need to hold the key against this bit here. It is a little bit hard to film when I don't have my mount right now, so bear with the camera angles. Okay. Now let's see. So key in hand. Watch the mirror here. Unlocks and locks. So now we need to make sure it starts the car. And what I'm going to do is this key, I'm just going to put outside the car. With this key inside the car, we're going to try and start the car. Put that there. And the car starts. Now, let's turn the car off. And that is a key added. And it's just that easy. So we'll exit. Done. And that is completed. If you like this video, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. But we still have some more to do to this, so stay tuned for the next video. We still have more to do on this car to get it ready for an MOT. So I'll see you next week. Peace out.